Well, to kick off our holiday countdown to Rogue One, here's a real kick in the pants to us Star Wars fans. Now, when I think of Star Wars video games, a few things come to mind, but one truly stands out, and that is Star Wars Battlefront. I remember clocking in hours and hours of playing the campaign and random matches on various locations and planets from the original and prequel trilogy. It was the perfect blend of the two that gave gamers this immersive experience. Finally, I knew how it felt to be on the front lines as a clone trooper, or raiding the Imperial base as a rebel. Heck, I even knew how it felt to be a Wookiee. The first game laid the foundation for a great series, and then in 2005 the sequel came out and took everything to the next level, introducing Jedis and Sith, and it was just better and faster and visually so appealing that it just got us all excited for what could come next. And well, we did eventually get something. Finally, in 2013, it was announced that EA DICE acquired the rights to the series, simply just titled Battlefront, somewhat of a reboot for the PS4 and the Xbox One. And I held my breath and stayed optimistic. And then in 2015, after 10 years of waiting, we finally got the sequel. And I don't feel like I'm alone in saying this, I felt pretty cheated. This game, while looking gorgeous and stunning visually, it was just missing something like a soul that made the series just so great and unique. I can't help but feel that I'm playing a typical shooter with a Star Wars skin. This title took a huge step back as opposed to the huge step forward that everyone wanted and wished for. With the sparse content available and package, to the too many downloadable contents, and the lack of single-player campaign, it no longer was the same game. It just really didn't bring much to the table. So it seems like it took them 10 years to create a mediocre Star Wars Battlefront. Well, not quite.
There is another.
There was actually a Star Wars Battlefront 3 produced by Free Radical. This was to be released in 2008 for the Wii, PS3, and Xbox 360. So listen to this and just watch this footage in awe. Okay, this game was to play like the previous two with the full campaign, levels and world from the entire saga, and even some what-if scenarios. So what do I mean by that? Allow me to introduce you to Dark Obi-Wan Kenobi, a character created with this question in mind. What if Obi-Wan Kenobi turned to the dark side? Keep in mind, this is just a glimpse of what was shown. Imagine the entire original trilogy, but shaken up. And this isn't even the coolest part. In the previous titles, we had battles on the ground and battles in space, but imagine you're fighting stormtroopers in the dense forest of Endor. Then in real time, you see an X-Wing, you board it, take it straight to space to aid Lando to blow up the Death Star 2. They're working on ground-to-space combat. Can you imagine that? Just how innovative is this? Imagine this coming out in 2008. It would have blown our minds. Now, it just gets more upsetting. The co-founder of Free Radical said that when they lost the rights to the series, they were pretty much done with the game, as in ready to be released. So what happened? Apparently LucasArts could not commit to spend big on marketing at the time, but then there's also reports that Free Radical could not devote sufficient resources to the game and regularly missed deadlines. So it's a he said, she said situation. With the closing of Free Radical though, we now have all this leaked artwork and footage to gaze upon. And on January 2016, there was a leaked build that fans took and created somewhat of a spiritual successor, but without the Star Wars intellectual property. It seems we'll never truly get that Star Wars Battlefront 3 experience we all dream for, and we will instead have to settle for EA's Battlefront. Now, EA is promising a lot for the sequel. Maybe they're listening to us fans, maybe not. I'm not holding my breath, but I do like being surprised, so there's some hope, I guess.
You have failed me for the last time.
And with that said, guys, thank you so much for watching this scrapped bit on Star Wars Battlefront 3. Feel free to check out all the other episodes of Scrapped on this. There's so many episodes and many other things you can find on this channel. And let us know, are you happy with the EA Battlefront, or would you have preferred this Battlefront 3? Now, with 8 days left, we are officially getting closer and closer to Rogue One. So stay tuned to next week as our countdown continues. Thanks again for watching, guys. My name is Chris. Happy holidays, and may the Force be with you.
I find your lack of faith